I usually have a dual monitor on, but I can't do the dual monitor. Basically, we're just going to be watching uh, virtual box experience and how I've been using virtual machines. So that's that. I need to get as much screen space as possible. So here's VirtualBox, and I basically was able to log into I lost all these machines right here, but now my latest one, I want to see if it's working. I was logged into it all night, but what I was able to do was get Mac OS 10 to run in Mojave, and I'll just show you. So this is just a quiet episode. It's not a tutorial. It's just showing you my work in VirtualBox and what I've learned over the past 8 months. load. It took that long. So in this case, I probably have to do it again. Nope, there it goes! Yay! It took like 5 minutes to start it up. So this is Mojave 10.14.3. Remind you, this is a virtual Mac. So it's going to be really slow. I only have 8 cores. I might not be able to stream all the having this too much of this software at the same time. I'm going to close one app. That might save on some of the RAM. This is literally how long it takes to log in, but usually it's faster, but because I'm using streaming software, it's taking forever. So it's usually, if I just power off the machine, it will do a reboot twice. But I built this VirtualBox from a VMDK, and I slightly altered it just a little bit. So this particular box, consists of the hard drive up here, this top hard drive, this machine, and this top hard drive is a VDI. It's a virtual disk image. So I have it mounted thus so. So this is a VDI. A VMDK. Excuse me. It's a virtual machine disk, not a virtual device image. Then I have an empty SATA controller, and then I have a, it's what you call a dynamically allocated virtual hard drive. And basically, they're both disks. One is going to grow one, both are going to grow, but this is just an image, but it's actually an extra hard drive of space. It's a normal disk image. So that's how the SATA is set up. There is no audio. In OS 10, I made the virtual machine through Snow Leopard, through Hazard, and all the audio plugins worked, but it's a very not stable or safe way to load OS 10 because you don't have full control. And this is not a clean install. It is using a VMDK from somewhere, but I kind of altered it. So it's not using a serial port. It's not supposed to. But the reason why I even started this video is to explain that on Windows 10 and Windows 10 Pro, there's some slight differences. Some people in most communities I've heard and witnessed and seen that it's stated even on Oracle's website, you don't want to use Hyper-V technology while the virtual machine platform is enabled in your Windows features. Hyper-V is technically supposed to be off. And that's across the board. That's what I've been hearing over as I have started this learning process of how to create virtual machines. And this particular device has the Hyper-V technology. My other device doesn't. But what happened one day is I lost all my machines. And if you notice, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had like maybe 6 different Macs running plus Ubuntu, and then they all disconnected. And I'm like, what happened? What changed in the network? Why is it causing that? So you have sometimes the machines break down, you lose files, get misplaced. If you keep your VirtualBox files in one location as opposed to if you start moving the target locations, things can get a little messy. But how I fixed it was by doing the opposite of what everyone has told me. And everyone has said, don't use Hyper-V. But on the flip note is that it actually is supposed to enhance VirtualBox. Meaning that when Hyper-V is enabled, it makes over servers now. This is over servers. It technically is supposed to make the transportation of a virtual machine like lightning fast because we're using a virtual hosted Ethernet adapter. Now, I hope it logs in this time. I really do. I really do. And if it doesn't log in, then I'm going to stop the stream. It might just be because I'm running OBS software that my computer can't process it because I have 4,096 MB of RAM allocated to the machine. Now, when I do screen recording, it's totally different than as if I'm streaming. So I think, so it's going to give me this error. It's going to say that. And then often, sometimes it will, these is just part of the VirtualBox thing if you're using a VMDK and not a clean install on VirtualBox. It's saying that my password's incorrect, but that's not true. And you can't tell, but I'm clicking on this arrow over and over. So I'm going to type it again. It does this, like I have to go through this extended process almost every time I log in. And then also what happens is it starts to learn on its own, is what I learned last night and from yesterday, because I've been doing this for a night and a day, doing tests. I mean, honestly, it is so temperamental, I can't even tell you. It's trying to say now what I do, this is literally what I have to do. And because I'm streaming, it's doing this. So we're going to do it again. This is just part of the process. I don't save the machine state, I just power it off. Then I power it back on. And basically the freedom here is you can configure these boxes and have infinite, as many machines that you want running. That's the beauty of it. And so for the longest time I was, hesitant in experimenting with it because I didn't understand the technology. But the more that I got familiar with it, I've learned so much and have come a long way. And if we can eventually get it loaded, maybe it will be more interesting of a video. This is just research and documentation. And I just want to share it, so in case anybody that does this stuff might find something interesting. So if it's not your cup of tea, I fully understand. I fully understand.
AVS Media Demo.
Ja, de noemen Soepinop. Zoals je
It's much better when I have both screens, but I'm using a different device right now. I can't hook to my HD screen to have the display extended. I think I might not be able to load it because I'm streaming. I might have to just stop the stream. I'm sorry. Why is it not wanting me to log in? I know why. I'm gonna have to restart. Unfortunately, with this software, I can't just pause the stream. It's either you stream or stop the stream. There is no pause. I'm using free OBS from Windows. What can I tell you? Actually, it's not. It's a really good app. It's called Ultra. So yeah, basically half my CPU is being taken, so that's why it's not running so well. This trials and tribulations of virtual machines. I don't believe this. It was working perfectly.